When it comes to Warrior Cats merch in the United States, the options are not so great. Of course, unless you're in the market for some pencils with awkward quotes, a cringy t-shirt, or whatever else they could find lying around the Warrior Cats headquarters. There are a few hidden gems here and there, and yes, I'm talking about the J Feather mirror, but for the most part, a lot of these items totally miss the mark. But what if I told you there's a whole new world of Warriors merch out there? But you're going to have to look outside of the United States. The success of Warriors has been felt all around the globe. With Warriors having been translated to over 32 languages, it's no surprise that other countries have decided to create their own exclusive merch for the series. So let's start off with a country that has a rather large Warriors fan base, Poland. Poland is well known in the Warriors fandom to have some of the best, if not the best, cover art for their books. Now, I'm not going to mention the covers for every single edition of other languages, because that would take way too long. But this art is so beautiful that it needs some recognition. And the publishers knew this too, as they pretty much stuck it on everything that they could. For example, the art is featured on bookmarks, posters, a briefcase, calendars, shirts, mugs, and sure, why not throw it on a pillow too? Even though they reuse a lot of the same art in their merchandise, the company who creates and releases Warriors in Poland does this amazing thing where they hire a variety of artists to design official books and merchandise. Just a few moments ago, I had mentioned calendars. And while there are some that have the Polish book covers as designs, they also released a 2025 calendar featuring over 10 different artists who created exclusive art just for this calendar. They hire artists for other merchandise as well, like this Alderheart poster and candle, both items from the Apprentice's Quest Collector's Edition. As each book is translated and released in Poland, the company releases exclusive Collector's Edition bundles that contain the merchandise to go along with that book. This particular Collector's Edition also includes a poster and DIY diorama, along with a box with some custom Apprentice's Quest designs, a collectible card, and a metal book stand. They started this Collector's Edition tradition with the Omen of the Stars, and have released unique Collector's Edition merchandise for every main series book following the 4th arc. Since that encompasses about 14 different books, meaning 14 different bundles of merch, I'm not going to list every single item from each collection. But every bundle comes with a collectible card, along with some variation of lanyard, button, sticker, printed art like a poster or postcard, or a keychain. Aside from those smaller items, each Collector's Edition bundle also comes with what I would describe as a main ticket item. Because even though these smaller items are cool, they don't exactly justify the almost $50 price tag. Each bundle has one or two special items that stand out from the others, like the candle and metal bookstand in the Apprentice's Quest bundle. For the main ticket items, I went ahead and put them into bundles to better organize them, with the first category being bags. In the bags category, there are drawstring bags, pencil bags, tote bags, and of all things, a fanny pack. The next category is household items. Inside of household items, we have a collection of flags, some with cover art and others with maps of the territories. There are also a few mugs, most with custom artwork from the books that they're from. We have a Cinderheart mousepad, this Ivy Pool room sign, a 300-piece puzzle, and a Tiger Star sandwich holder. I definitely think that these items are meant to pad out the collector's bundles and make them look more appealing. I could see somebody purchasing one of these collector's editions for the flag or mug, but I don't believe anybody's rushing to grab a Cinderheart mousepad or Ivy Pool room sign. The final category I have are the wearables. There's a t-shirt, dog tag necklace, scarf, and what I believe is a sweatband or bracelet. Though these collector's editions come with some really cute exclusive items, it does come at a premium price. As I had mentioned earlier, one of these collector's editions will set you back $50 US. If you're not willing to spend that much on a book, but still want some exclusive merch, you're in luck. If you instead pre-order the book from the Polish publisher's website, you'll be given a free gift to go along with your order. Typically, they take one of these smaller items from the collector's edition and give that away as a pre-order bonus. Prior to the release of the collector's editions, pre-ordering older books on the Polish publisher's website also came with some really cool merch, like an Ashford tote bag, this Shadow Clan coin, or something like this Rusty figure. In 2019, Miss Dako, the art director for Polish Warrior Cats, shared these pictures of possibly the coolest piece of Warriors merch. A figure of Rusty was meant to be added as a pre-order bonus for the re-release of Into the Wild. However, it never happened. They found out that the cost of producing the figures was too high, so they had to go back on their decision. The company ended up not producing any more figures, which is a real shame because this is easily the best figure we've seen from Warriors. The prototype of the figure, however, did end up being sold at an auction for charity. The final piece of Polish merch I'll be discussing in this video before moving on to a neighboring country are these pins. While they might not be exactly anything new, these holly leaf and jay feather buttons were given away for free as a celebration for the 10th anniversary of the Polish series. The company in charge of the Polish version of Warriors is doing a great job. It seems as though they really care about their fans, and they always try to include a variety of artists for their merch. I always look forward to seeing what they do next. And if you're interested as well, feel free to check out their Twitter account that I'll put here on the screen and in the description. Now moving away from Poland, we'll go right next door to Germany. While Germany might not have as much merch as Poland, Germany has some of the strangest pieces of Warriors merch. But I'll get to that later. I'll start out with some of the more typical goods and then slowly move into the stranger items. Of course, Germany has the usual stickers, magnets, buttons, and notebooks that you see in almost every country. Even though these aren't exactly anything new, I always find it interesting to see how other countries design these staple pieces of merch. Germany also has Warriors stationery, with some sticky notes, Warriors washi tape, and a themed book cover. Like a cover for your textbook, not a Warriors book cover. Well, they have those too, but this is a different type. Germany seems to have a signature style for their merch, as it's seen consistently throughout their merchandise. Even on this Warriors wall clock and mug, you'll see the black cat silhouette with these signature cutout eyes. The wall clock has a really cute feature where it makes cat noises every hour, on the hour, from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. Of course, stopping at 9 p.m. for bedtime. As for the mug, it also has a really cool feature. It holds water. But also, if you look inside of the cup, you'll be greeted by a River Clan warrior. Germany also has a line of books that are exclusive to Germany. They have a collection of activity books ranging from a how to draw book to a series of advent calendars. The how to draw book is exactly what you might think. It contains step-by-step instructions on how to draw cats and different parts of a cat, including 2 whole pages for just drawing cat noses. Another line of German exclusive books are activity books. This activity book, which was the first book in the series, is a do-it-yourself activity book where you follow along with the prompts written within the book. Most of the activities are Warriors related, or at least Warriors adjacent. After looking through some screenshots, I'm still a little lost as to what this book is supposed to be. The book has activities like writing your own prophecy, designing your own cat's den, and a page for letting your cats curse, but they also have recipes in the book. It was a bit jarring to go from pages talking about the hardships of war and betrayal to pizza rolls on the next. I guess I should have known better from the description of the book, but I honestly thought the make pizza rolls was more of a suggestion to sort of set the mood for hanging out with friends and completing the activities, not an actual element of the book. I thought it was more like this next book, roughly titled Your World of Clans, Your Adventure Begins Here. This book focuses on the clans and the world building of warriors. The activities in this book kind of revolve around what happened in the main story, like Greyling leaving the mountains, along with some activities like naming animal footprints or creating your own territory. It reminds me a lot of the field guides, just with some added activity sections. During the holiday season, Germany also releases a Warriors Advent calendar in the form of a book. These books follow the formula of a traditional Advent calendar, counting down the 24 days to Christmas. But instead of chocolates and treats, you get games and information about Warriors books. According to DreamCloud, a user on the warriorcats forums, the 2022 and 2023 Advent calendars primarily focus on super editions. The books are broken down into sections, with each section highlighting a different super edition. The sections all have an introductory page, a short biography, and an activity like filling in a comic, followed by a Warriors assessment. Once you have completed all of these Warriors assessments, you can use your answers to decode the final message that can be input into the Polish publisher's website for a chance to win a prize. These advent calendars led me to one of the strangest pieces of Warriors merch to ever exist. While I was searching the Polish website for more information about these advent calendars, I was met with this. Wrong photo. This chair is a 100% bona fide Warriors product. Now, before you rush off to buy one for yourself, I regret to inform you that you actually cannot buy them. In fact, only 3 were ever distributed as part of a giveaway for World Cat Day. The only photo I've seen of this chair is this 480p one that I pulled off of their website. So if anyone has any other photos, or actually knows someone who won the chair, please let me know in the comments. I would love to see it. Now, moving away from Germany, there's one more country I'd like to discuss in this video, who is one of the titans of Warriors merch. And while Germany took the cake for the strangest piece of Warriors merch, this country definitely gives them a run for their money. You might have already guessed it, but I'm talking about China. For those who are unaware, there's a rather large warrior scene in China. And when I mean large, I mean so large that you can order a Warrior Cats KFC kids meal. The Mudclaw graphic novel, Winds of Change, was split into 4 different portions for the kids meal. Each portion of the book came with one of 4 special trading cards featuring one of the main characters, such as Tall Star, Mudclaw, One Whisker, and Firestar, because you have to have Firestar. And if you're still hungry after your KFC burger, why not grab a Warrior Cats ice cream bar? These ice cream bars were released as a celebration for selling over 3.5 million copies of the illustrated version of The Prophecies Begin, which I'll be discussing later in this video. There are 6 different ice cream bars for the 6 different clans, with each ice cream bar having a leader to represent their respective clan. They have Tall Star for Wind Clan, Tiger Star for Shadow Clan, Crooked Star for River Clan, Fire Star for Thunder Clan, Spotted Leaf for Star Clan, and Question Mark Star for Sky Clan. One thing that is interesting to note is that the clan logos on the ice cream bars are different from their canon designs. Star Clan is represented as a constellation instead of one giant star. Sky Clan is represented by clouds instead of a tree. River Clan has an additional wave, just as Thunder Clan is given additional clouds, and Shadow Clan is given a bonsai tree. Besides food-related goods, China also has a line of school supplies and stationery. They have notepads and journals, a variety of stickers, envelopes with seasonal greeting cards, and pencils. There's also this line of pencil bags and pouches with a matching set of colorful backpacks. Each backpack features a character from the books, such as Brightheart, Leopard Star, Grey Stripe, Tawny Pelts, and Tabby Spotted Leaf. A variety of math tools were also released featuring James Berry's art, and are, surprisingly, not the only math-related Warriors product that China has released. They decided to release a collection of Warriors-branded math workbooks. These books have pretty much what they advertise: Warriors and math. Mostly math. They have a few sheets of stickers and Warriors art sprinkled throughout the book, but otherwise it's just a simple math book. Earlier in this video, I had very briefly mentioned trading cards in the KFC Kids Meal. And, well, those aren't the only Warriors trading cards that China has to offer. Much like in other countries, buying certain Warriors books in China gets you a little bonus. A 3D card featuring a main character from the book, complete with a short bio on the back and graphics that look like they were taken straight from Pets Cats 2. Around 50 of these cards have been released so far. Some definitely better than others. And while we're still on the topic of cards, it's definitely worth mentioning the infamous deck of playing cards that China has released. Not because they're exactly anything outstanding, but because the designs are interesting? For some reason, they decided to humanize these cats in this mid-2000s anime art style that ranges from admittedly really cool character designs to whatever's going on with Lion Blaze. The biggest issue with these cards is the fact that the cats don't exactly translate to the characters very well, and we're often left with a bunch of designs that, if you put a name to it, it sort of makes sense. Admittedly, some of the cards do have some really cool details. Like Human 1 Star has the same marking on his forehead as his cat counterpart. Human and Cat Spotted Leaf are both holding the same flowers. Brambleclaw and Tiger Star are wearing the same tiger pattern, just as Leopard Star is wearing leopard print. And even Black Star has the same scowl on his face in both of his pictures. The last item I'll be talking about in this video are these Warriors magazines. Released once a month, each magazine is part of a full book and is a true testament to China's love of re-releasing Warriors books. Main series books are split into 3 different magazines, and what separates these magazines from the main series books, besides the fact that they're literally split up, is the inclusion of full-color illustrations. The magazines are filled to the brim with stylized Warriors art that has some really cute details. Like Firestar has a little tuft of hair on his head that resembles a fire. Tall Star has a star face marking, and Scourge is outlined in red because he's evil. The art is beautifully done, albeit sometimes a little silly, and is overall a nice addition to the story. Despite the fact that this magazine has been published since 2022, only the first arc has been fully released, as instead of following arc after arc, once the prophecy begins ended, they decided to instead release 2 different super editions. Both Blue Star and Leopard Star's books were chosen to have magazine adaptations, with 6 issues each instead of the usual 3 per book since super editions are longer. At the end of their publication, they compile all of the magazines and release illustrated, phonetic versions of the books. And what's even better is that they actually split the books into 2. So one book becomes 3 magazines and the 3 magazines become 2 phonetic versions of the books. Like I said, they really have perfected the art of re-releasing Warriors books. Even if these magazines are re-released books, I still enjoy seeing the new take on the series. The drawings add more charm to the books, and even though these seem to be aimed at a younger audience, they're quite faithful to the main story, and don't shy away from showing some of the harsher aspects of life in the clans. Seeing the amount of effort put into these books just goes to show how loved the series is. Not even just in China, but all across the globe. While I was researching for this video, I saw so many Warriors communities in different countries coming together to share their collections or just simply talk about the books. And it's endearing to know that, despite all of our differences, you can buy a mug with Firestar's face on it in almost every part of the world. If you have any of the merch in this video, or have something that I missed, or maybe even something from another country, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. If you're interested in more Warriors content, be sure to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. It helps my channel out, and it's free. Thank you all for watching, and have a good one.